$48 in productivity. It's probably much higher now because our workers are doing more work. And here's the bottom line. Employee well-being has a huge impact on organizational well-being. You know, everybody just wants to be recognized. Everybody wants a connection. When I do my workshops on collaboration and communication, I have people really work with one another. When I do my presentations on laughter, we talk about smiling and looking at each other in the eyes. We're losing the ability to connect just because we don't practice. I wrote a book once called Life Lessons, and in there was a page that said, life is like playing a guitar. The more you practice, the better you get. And this is something I think a lot of people forget. You can choose to be different, but you have to make that choice deliberately until it becomes a habit. You can choose to be happy. And you're saying to me, that is ridiculous. I can't choose to be happy. And I'm telling you, you can. You can choose to be happy. You know, I did a laughter workshop once, and a man and his daughter came up to me. He had lost his wife, her mother, about 6 months before. And they said they were so excited to take an hour to laugh, just to get out of their grief. It wasn't going to bring their loved one back, but it gave them another perspective, even for a little bit. That's what I mean by you can choose to be happy. It's your choice. How do you want to go through life? You want to be a Tigger and be a happy soul? Or you want to be an Eeyore? We all know people like that. They just go through life. Woe is me. Everything is horrible. And today, I'm going to tell you, if you're an Eeyore, I'm going to give you some ways to get out of that. And I'm going to give you some ways to move other people out of that. You know, still their choice. How many people have ever tried to lose weight or exercise more? Now, how many of those people have ever tried it more than once? So if it's so difficult to change you, why would you think you can change someone else? That's the important part of being a leader and inspiring others. Because that's really the only way you do it. It's up to that person to pick it up and run. And let's talk about the definition of a leader for a minute. Because maybe some of you are sitting here and going, oh, well, I'm not the owner of the company. I'm not the CEO. I'm not really a leader. Everyone is a leader. You know, if the copy machine breaks and you're the one that doesn't rip your hair out and say what a horrible company you work for, and you get it fixed, or you fix it, or something like that, you become a leader because now you've shown somebody another way to deal with the situation that they're losing it over. So everyone's a leader all the time. Every time you walk in an office, every time you walk out the door, every time you walk on the street, you are a leader to others because you are an example of what it's like to be a good human being, if that's what your choice is. So we're going to break the day into 3 parts. The first part is your intention. How do you choose to start your day? What is it you do when you wake up in the morning? What is your intention? Because your intention, wow, that just creates your whole day. And the second thing we're going to talk about is your purpose. How do you choose to spend your day? Now, you know, one of the great things about being a human being is we get to change every second. We can do something different. Sometimes I notice I'm not in the best mood and I just change it. In our laughter workshops, one of the things I do is we do this laugh, cry, just so you can show your brain that you can really switch back and forth. We can do that. And last, but not least, is how do you choose to find closure in your day? Do you even choose to find closure in your day? Many of us have our mind going a million miles an hour with all kinds of ideas until we finally stop and go to sleep out of exhaustion. So we're going to start with good intentions. Because when you wake up in the morning, you set the tone. You know that book, Everything I Learned in Kindergarten? I learned everything I need to know I learned in kindergarten. So I've been thinking about that. And I went back to this very simple saying, stop, look, and listen. When did we hear that in our lives? What was it for? Crossing the street. But you know, I've decided that we can